Well, good day, everybody. Welcome to the channel, and we're going to get into Fingerstyle Guitar number 1E. And this won't be the complete wind-up, and I think you'll see why. We'll do an F in that, and we'll sum it up in F. But tonight we need to get through going up the fretboard. But before we do that, I never really showed you how to finish this off down here in this tune. So I'm going to head there. Now, I won't take quite as long as I normally do, but I have to tell you about Matt Schmidt, and I'm going to put a link in the description. So be sure and hit that show more button. You know, YouTube's full of a lot of videos. We all watch videos, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, some videos are frankly better than others, and you can find a whole bunch of them better than this channel. I promise you that. But I got to say something about Matt Schmidt. He popped up on the side there, you know, where the suggestions come up, and I clicked on this guy's tune that came up, and it was about a friend of his who passed away maybe a day before or so. And he wrote his best friend a song. And I was beyond blown away by everything about it. It really described what a friend is. And not only did it describe it, but the music was such that I'll tell you, if it doesn't bring a tear to your eye, you can't be had at all. Very meaningful song. But the interesting thing about Matt is, and from the communication I've had with him, I just think he's quite the gentleman. And he had an outstanding friend. And the fact that when his friend Adam Yount passed, who had a YouTube channel, by the way, he wrote music, both of them did. Matt still does. And but it told me something about the young man that passed away. And by young man, I mean he was a pretty young man. He was, I'm going to guess, looking at Matt, that his friend might have been 30s, 40s, somewhere in there, early 40s maybe, late 30s, something like that. And but he had secured a friend who could write him a song after he was gone, like Matt did. And folks, you could just see the pain written all over him when he was singing it. And I'm a sucker for real things. I'm not a Hollywood kind of guy, you know. You're not going to catch me into too many action movies, you know. I'm not that much of a movie guy, to tell you the truth. There's a few, right? But I'm not so much into acting as I am into people and what's really going on in their lives. You know, you never know when you're running into people on the street what has happened in their life in the last hours, days. You just don't know. And this is a really good example of that. That maybe when we run into folks that are a little difficult, maybe we think about that, give some consideration to it. Have you ever been to a restaurant and the waitress was just, you know, you knew something was off, but maybe you never know. She may have just lost her dad. She may have just lost her brother. God forbid, may have just lost a child. You do not know. It's just something that the older I get, the more I start thinking about that kind of stuff. You know, I did not used to think about it at all. The whole world revolved around me when I was younger. I was my favorite subject, you know. But Matt, I really encourage you, to go check this out. I'm going to drop a link to that song, which takes you to it. And then you can click on that round thing that has his picture in it with his guitar. And it'll take you to his channel, and then you can, instead of being on the home page, go over to where it says videos, and click on that, and you'll see some other songs that he's written and some covers that he's done that are, it's just him and a guitar. I don't know, something about that. Somebody in their keyboard, somebody in their guitar. Not that I don't like bands, I love them. I think about, you know, Kathy Short and Donna Dunn. two girls I love to death and think the world of them. And they've got bands behind them. But then on occasion, both these girls do an acoustic set, you know, with just a guitar or something and just them singing. I really like that. That rawness just gets me, you know. So anyway, Matt Schmidt, and I'm going to drop a link to him. Please go listen to that song, and be prepared to be moved by that. I was really impressed with that. Matt, if you ever get over to this channel and you happen to run across this, what a moment. And in my opinion, Adam Yount was a very fortunate individual to have you as a friend. Now let's get to this, and I want to finish this song up, okay? So, you know, life's full of fantastic moments, and it's full of sad moments, and then it's full of reflective moments. Well, that would say reflective, sad, and reflective. But don't lose hope, folks. All right? Now, so when we came out of that B7 to wind this song up, and we went back to the E to kind of finalize it, I didn't really finalize it, so let me finalize it right quick. Won't spend much time on this. It's not hard to do, okay? So let's play the latter half of this song where we're in the E chord, and we only do that. Let me see. Well, let me see if I can get to it, and then when I get to the E to finalize it, once I do it, I'll be able to walk you through it, okay? Yeah. So when you come back out of that B7, let me see. Because remember, you're going to put for those of you that are having thumb problems, okay, now that's not the end of the song, but you're going to do a pull strike just like you did before. And then, once you do that pull strike, what you're going to do is you're going to, in your E chord, little fingers off the fretboard, you're going to take that forefinger and the number 3 and 4 string, and that's your bass note, your number 4, right? And you're going to do a pull off with that forefinger and a hammer on. You're only hitting it one time. But you are going to take your thumb when you go to hammer back on, and on that hammer on, you're going to pick up that bass note, number 6 bass note, okay? You finish it off with that last bass note, that number 4 bass note. So it's... You're hammering down with that little finger on the 2nd fret, number 2 string. I have to rest my palm of my hand down here. I'm not going to be able to do this. Then it's over. So when you did the hammer on, when you were going down on that number 3 string, you're coming down on your number 6 bass note, okay? And for those of you that's hung in there all this time and you actually are trying to learn this, congratulations, because most people quit after just a short time. We're in such a jack-in-the-box kind of world where everybody wants everything real fast and they want it right now, and if they can't learn it in 5 seconds, they're done. No. This takes work. But the good news is it pays off much faster the minute you decide to stick with it. So I'm going to encourage you to stick with it. Now that may take a little while to work on because it doesn't feel real natural when you do that pinch on that number 3 and 4. you hammer on with that little finger, you're going to pick up that number 4 bass note. Just like that. Okay? Now, if you need to slow the video down and rewind it and work on that till you can get that finish up. Never mind, we won't go there. I'm just kidding. And then you're wound up and you're done with it, okay? Now, coming out of that, all right? Coming out of that and coming up the fretboard, you're going to come up here to this number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fret, okay? And you're going to cover these bottom 4 strings, strings 1, 2, 3, and 4, with this forefinger. See if you can do that. Okay? Now, most of you probably been playing chords for a long time, so I'm pretty sure you can do this because it's just a bar chord, the A bar chord. You're just picking up this piece of it. Now, we're going to hammer on right here. Number 3, okay? The number 3 string, the number 6 fret. We'll be doing a little hammer on there. It's the only movement there's going to be up here. All right? You won't be moving any other fingers. Because what you're going to do is, if you will put that middle finger down on that number 6 fret, number 3 string, and you will put either your pinky or your ring finger on the number 6 string, number 1 string, 7th fret, okay? And if you make that chord and you hit that number 5 bass note and just go down. Okay? Now, I like to kind of cock my hand a little bit back here. It just gives me some leverage to kind of put a little pressure down, you know? Okay, so that's what you're going to do. Now, you can use your little finger too. But we're going to do that one. 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, right? And so we're going to maintain that bass note. So the way this is going to go, and I'm going to show you this once very slowly. On the hammer-on, your bass note, okay? Yeah, that's all there is to it, really. I'm serious. So now getting up here out of that E chord, you're going to have to work on that because it's going to require a little speed to get out of that E and come up here. I'll show you a few tricks to that, okay? Maybe one trick to it. It's not that complicated. It just, you know, like I said before, this all looks like a mountain too high to climb when you first start doing it. But then you got to stop and think. Tommy Emmanuel started playing guitar at some point in his life. He didn't know how to do it. And he had to learn. So you put your finger down across that number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 string. And maybe you can even leverage your hand now. Just take your thumb and just kind of lay it up against the top part of the back of that. Or some of you may have a better way. You may actually be holding that thumb in about dead center back there. I don't know. For me, I like to put it a little closer to the top up here, not over the fretboard. There are songs where you're going to loop it across and use it, but this isn't one of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so what you're going to do is you're going to hammer on, hit that number 5 bass note. Hammer on, number 3 string, number 6 fret. You're going to pick up on the number 2 string, which is already barred right here. Then you're going to hit that number 4 bass note. Okay? If you did it fast, it would just be. So what you're doing, and you don't want to do it fast right now. Remember we talked about this. Then you're going to pick up on that number 6 fret where you have one of these little finger, ring finger, down on that number 7 fret, number 1 string, right here, this fret right here, okay? Then you're going to hit that number 6 bass note. Then you're going to come back and hit the number 4 bass note. Now, if you can make chords and all that, and your fingers aren't killing you at this point, this should not be all that difficult. Picking with these fingers may be a little bit difficult. You're not used to doing that. You're used to doing this. Used to doing some different things with a pick, right? And now you're using your fingers, and it may not feel exactly natural because you're not using all these fingers when you're using a pick, right? There is a way to use a pick and do some fingering down here. And there's some people on the internet that are very good at that. Ha ha, look at me. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the number 5 fret. Okay. Going to do a hammer on with that middle finger. Hit that number 5 bass note at the hammer on. Sometimes you pinch it and do it, and sometimes you hammer on. And that's not as easy to do as a lot of people think that it might be, okay? Sometimes I'll just go. Sometimes I'll get up and about 6 a.m. in the morning, I got a guitar out, and this is the very first thing I do. Now, you know what I'm listening for? I'm listening for the clarity on that number 2 string. And you did not hear that just now, okay? And I've been playing guitar now. It's, I don't know, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and I've had a guitar in my hands for over an hour. Before I started this video, and interesting, and I still don't have it. But that helps me get used to kind of quickly moving, you know. Other people do other things, you know. Remember that deal we were talking about last week? That's good for your fingers, but that doesn't really work your left hand all that well, or your right hand, depending on whether you're left or right-handed. So I try to do a mix every day and spend 30 minutes to an hour in the mornings just doing both of those things, you know. Just try to get my fingers going and my coordination, my guitar coordination going. You can do that, or you can try to find something else, but there should be something to kind of limber up. I like to have a guitar in my hands before I start work. I like to have a guitar in my hands when I'm done for the day. And the last thing that happens before I go to bed at night is my guitar goes in my case, whichever one I've got out, okay? Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to pick up on that number 3. Strike that number 5 bass note at the hammer on. Pick up on number 2 with your middle finger. Strike that number 4 bass note. Pick up on that number 1 string with your little or ring finger on that number 7 fret, number 1 string. Hit that number 6 bass note because the last one you struck was number 4. Do your hammer on with the number 5. Yeah, number 5. Pick up on number 2. Strike number 4 bass note. pick up on number 1, strike number 6, and complete that bass note, 6/4. Once you pick up on that number 3, pinch 5, hit number 4, 6, and number 4. Can everybody see my fingers good? If you can, if there's something going on there, tell me in the comments and let me know. I know this microphone's probably a little bit in the way of my fingers here, but I don't know how well you can see my fingers anyway, but because I'm telling you exactly which strings to strike, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. But if it is, let me know. Get that? We're going to lead off with the number 5, and the reason is because that's our A, and we're in an A shape. Okay? So that is that chord, and I think I've gone over this 2 or 3 times now up here, but I'm going to do it one more time, and then I'll stop you because you can always rewind. Just don't forget 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4. And in this case, it's 5, 4, 6, 4. Pick up on 3, 5, 4, 6, 4. Okay? And then you are done with this chord shape. So you're going to come out of that E. And you can start that pluck down here if you want to and slide it up. And then we're going to go to a bar chord. Okay? So, and we'll deal with that in F, and then we'll wind this song up, because most of what we do down here, we've done some form of in the earlier videos, okay? So it's not quite as bad as it may look like it is to those of you that really have no fingerstyle experience and you're just learning this. So very slowly, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, first we'll do this. Let me do this again. You can slide up there. You don't have to slide up there, but you can slide up there. This is not out of reach, okay? It is not out of reach. Now, doing some of this a little fast might be out of reach at the moment, but you will be able to do this. I assure you, you'll be able to do this, okay? I think you can do it with your eyes closed. You'll begin to get a feel for this. Some of you already have a feel for it because you've been playing guitar for a while. So that's the thing to consider in all of this. It's familiarity, right? That's really what this is about. And then comfort, right? So you know where you're at on the fretboard. So yeah, occasionally you may close your eyes and miss it, but you know, wouldn't be any fun if you didn't miss something every once in a while, right? All right, now, so that's where we're at tonight. I'm going to walk through everything up to and through that A up here. so that you can hear it with a lawnmower running, right? So let's do that. Okay. Now, that wasn't so bad, right? I mean, it's kind of fun. Once you have a few successes, it gets to be, dadgummit, I got to learn that next one, right? Got to learn that next lick. All right, everybody. It was much appreciate you joining us. Thank you very much. I hope you were able to pick something up. Hopefully next week you'll go out and or over the weekend and you'll begin to have find an opportunity, let's say, to have a good impact on somebody. Brighten things up a little bit for somebody else. Appreciate you very, very much. Look forward to seeing you next time. God bless. Take care of your friends. Take care of your family. See you next time.